What is up, everybody? Sven Diesel here. We're going to be making some zero gravity dubbing brushes. This is a material by Snake River Fly. It's a marabou flash blend, and I'm just making them into some nice dub brushes. These aren't anything fancy. They're not for commercial, like selling them. They're just for personal use. I use them on a lot of my streamers and leeches, but I'm sure you want to see that photo again. Some of us fly tires, we hold dubbing brushes in equal comparison to a nice trout, and so I'm holding these dub brushes like a trout just for fun. But anyway, like I said, we are going to be using some of this product. It's by Snake River Fly. It comes in a pouch like this. I believe this is the Pro Pack. I get about 5 brushes, I can't remember, out of a pack, and this ties up a lot of bugs. But I use a medium stainless steel wire for my dubbing brush. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. I'll drop my tray. I'm going to attach it to the right side here through this little hook, and I'm just going to pinch it, and I'm using a drill, and I'll just spin that around. It just bonds to itself. I'll run it the length of my table, and then I will bring it back and measure how long it is, and just take my bobbin with my wire in it and drop it off to the side to hold tension. Now I raise the table back up, and all you got to do is take a clump, spread it out. Usually the first couple clumps out of a new bag like this one are kind of all blended together. As you get further into the pack, they kind of lay out a little bit more straight, like that one just did right there. And you just want to make sure you get a nice even coat, especially when using this marabou. You're going to lose a little bit as you spin it around, but I found you want to go a little bit heavier on this than thinner. And so you can see it's pretty much getting the core so that you can't see the table, and I'm just working my way down, grabbing clumps as I go, spreading it out, and then before I move on any further, I'll just go ahead and inspect it. I like the way this one looks, except for, let's add a little bit right there in those 2 gaps. So there we go. If you were going to do this just as without rubber legs, just go ahead and bring your wire back over. But I'm going to be adding some rubber legs. I'm just going to take a single tab here, so that is roughly 10 rubber legs. Fold it in half, and I will cut the tab off, and while pinching that, I'm just going to cut them in half again through the loop right there. So we've got an equal, pretty even length of tabs, and I'm just going to spread these out about every 3/4 of an inch to inch, just all the way across this brush. The stainless steel is going to cut some of these, and as you brush it out, you're going to lose some, but this is just to add a little bit more bugginess, something that just pushes a little bit more water. I found it to be a little bit effective, but for this upcoming fishing trip I'm doing, I'm going to be mixing some with the rubber legs and some without. So hopefully I have a better analysis of what was working for this upcoming trip. So we'll go ahead and lay those out. Now that we're done, I'm just going to take the wire with my bobbin, bring it up, and I'm going to snip it, and don't let go of the wire like I just did. You want to just hold it tight, just adjust your dubbing if you do that. That way it's going to be through the core. And I'm going to, without letting it touch the dubbing or the marabou, put it through this little gap over here, and then I will simply just close it off, and with a couple twists of the drill, and then once it's secure and I know it's going to be good, we'll start turning it. And to avoid it to clump up like that, you just kind of bring your table down just a little bit, enough to keep those fibers there, but it allows them to spin freely. And you can see we're already losing some of those marabou fibers that were not secured into the core, but we got most of them. So it's a little bit messy to do it this way, but when tying, it's going to be really clean. Now you can see how the drill is walking out. Let that walk as you are spinning it. That means you're getting really good and tight. And usually once it moves about 3/4 of an inch, I brush it out. So just grab an animal brush. This one's real nice because you can get rid of all the extra hair or fur in between just by the push of a button. I usually brush side to side, diagonally, and then up and down. I'm just holding that wire in that table with my other hand to help secure it so that I'm not going to have it snap off, or just to add a little bit of security. Now, you can use dubbing wax on your stainless steel wire when you bring it up and over. That helps hold it all together. I just don't do it. I've never had my flies come apart. I've never had a need for it, and I just hate the feeling of the wax on there, and I don't know, maybe I just don't have confidence in it when I'm fishing it. So, but you can see right there, I'm just going to vacuum up all these fibers so my wife's happy, and then we'll go ahead and just do another little quick spin to tighten that up since we brushed it, and we are good to go. We'll snip it out here, and then the other end is on a loop, so I'll just pull that loop off, and that's a dubbing brush. That was pretty quick. So you can bust these out relatively quick. It's not pretty, it's not exact. I'm not really doing it to sell them, but you can do them in multiple colors with or without legs, as you see in the little video on the side here. But tie it in, palmer it around, and that pretty much is your bug. So I hope that you guys tie it up in your favorite colors, and check out that marabou dubbing. It's pretty cool stuff. So thanks for watching, and pierce some lips.